Today's episode is sponsored to you by A&H Provisions. Meat and hot dogs that are so good, even Goyim understand how amazing they are. It's the next level of kosher food, and the website is kosherdogs.net. Get yours, enjoy them, A&H Provisions. Welcome to And Here's Modi. Hi, everybody. We're back, and here's Modi. We have a special guest today. Before, we're going to, of course, thank our sponsors, A&H Provisions, best hot dogs in the world. Even the Goyim have picked up that these are delicious and glad kosher. And promo code Modi. For your first
30% off your first order.
30% off your first order.
www.kosher.net.
You guys are not letting me get through this.
Well, because you're stumbling and you
shine from the top. A&H Provisions, best glatt kosher meats, best hot dogs. The website is Leo.
www.kosherdogs.net.
Yep. Get it, and promo code Modi for your first order, 30% off. And Whites and Luxembourg, the law firm you want to have behind you if you ever, God forbid, have to have a law firm behind you. They are
sponsorship ad ever.
What? What'd you say?
He said it's the most Jewish sponsorship ad ever.
Yeah, but who do you want us to?
Chas v'sholem, you need a lawyer.
Chas v'sholem, you need a lawyer. This is who you need to have. Whites and Luxembourg.
You gotta go the other way. You gotta go the positive energy. So it's like, let's say you want to sue somebody. Oh, you slipped.
Great. That's good. Okay.
That's great.
If your neighbor's a mamzer, if your neighbor's and you need to sue, that's who you call.
There you go.
Anyway, Whites and Luxembourg.
Whites Lux.
Could you let me finish and then you can do the Whites and Luxembourg? They are the tag we were using, that they not only are doing well, they also do good. They're very philanthropic, and Arthur Luxembourg is a close friend and loves the podcast. He doesn't really, I don't think he listens to it, but he hears about it from his wife, and so so shout out to Randy as well. And we have a guest today. Wow, if this could not. We are currently in the 9 days before Tisha B'Av. If ever there's a guest to have on,
I want to lift people's spirits, but not too much.
yes, Ari Shafir.
Yeah.
Ari Shafir.
Thanks for having
welcome.
me, man. Thank you.
And you're also doing the comedy festival, the Chosen Comedy Festival. I'm
Excited.
so excited for that.
Coney Island. Last time I was there, I lost $3,000 at one of their parlor games.
They have
The
parlor
guy
games
got me. Yeah.
They have gambling?
I've never did.
No, it's like gotta throw a ring toss kind of thing.
Oh.
He got me in the hook.
$3,000 at a
He got me in a
ring
hook. It was like a game with different balls, and he's like, "Oh, sorry, you got to double down a little more. You get a 6, and you win. You win. You're up $5,000 if you win."
Oh my
Oh,
God.
he got me opened up,
Wow, we got you good.
so I can't
Good.
play when I'm there.
Ari has a special.
Ari has a special that we have to talk about. I remember when it came out.
Yeah.
It was a few months before I was taping mine. I said, I'm not watching this.
Smart.
I am not watching this. It was on my thing, and it kept. Ari Shaffir special. All the promos were coming on YouTube and wherever, and I'm just seeing, I'm dying to watch it. I watched it. Can I tell you what it is?
Yeah.
To me, in my head.
Okay.
Okay. His special is this. He goes through the Bible and stories and bringing the holidays. First of all, he lectures like a Rosh Yeshiva. Like a head of a yeshiva, a Magid Shir, the guy who gives the lesson. The stance you have with the arm and is
That's my
so
normal.
yeshivish. It's it's literally, it's like, okay, so if you're saying this is going to be halachically correct, is it midaraisa midarabanan? He literally, this is how his stance is. It's so incredible.
That's where I got my whole stances from yeshivas, from doing that.
Look, it's true, no?
Standing at a stender. And
It's
learning.
exactly what it looks like.
Yeah.
And you barely move, but it's great. We taped our special. I'm running back and forth trying to catch the spot.
Yeah.
But do you know what it's like when I was watching your special?
What's that?
When you're in synagogue and you're reading the Torah, the portion of the week, and your friend has a sense of humor, and he turns to you and goes, okay, Okay, and the Jews built all these pyramids. Like that's who they chose to build the pyramid. And you get back into it. It was very that, no?
Yeah, just a little messing around.
It's messing around.
It's like my bar mitzvah parsha was Yitro.
Yeah.
And I remember the story. It's like one of the guys. It's like an Arab Israeli, pretty much. And he comes with the Jews out,
right?
But he's not Jewish.
Yeah.
So they're like, hey, you guys can join up if you want.
Right.
It's up to you.
Right.
And Yitro was like, let me research some other religions first. Let me make sure.
Right.
This is the only one I know. Thanks for freeing me, but I don't know if this is the right one. And the story is he goes, sees all the other religions of the world, and comes back. He's like, it's Judaism. I'm back.
Right. And he was also he's not Jewish, but his son-in-law was.
He was in. I don't remember.
It was Moses.
No, really?
Yeah.
That was his father. That was Moses' father.
The big joke was also it's like it was literally so he was the high priest, whatever it was. It was like Donald Trump and Jared Kushner.
Oh my
good.
God!
That's
No, you didn't.
That's the type of humor
The comparison you made.
Our friends were like, how would you get all over the world back then? Was camels taking you all over that fast so you could get back? What was it, take
JetBlue
you
had a great,
180 years before you got back?
Exactly. So that's the type of humor that this special was. It's like when you're like sitting in synagogue and you turn to your friend like this really okay. You're having fun within. It was really good.
And
It
what's
was
it-
so long. Oh my God, an hour and 26 minutes.
It was long. I couldn't narrow. I had 2.5 hours on the road. I couldn't narrow it down anymore. I kept chopping out stuff. I'm like, maybe I don't need this, but like,
That's hard.
We're in the middle of editing ours now, and it's an hour and 10 and hour 15. Hour 10, and there's a
It'll
big,
get chopped down.
I'm not sure. After I saw his, and then like I watched it again before he came on, and I was like, maybe not, because the laughter was constant.
Yeah.
That you didn't lose them.
Thanks.
You didn't lose them.
yeah, I was like, I can't go this long if I don't have them. You
Yep.
know, so I can't even like do it set and time together because then the at-home audience won't. They'll lose their.
They'll
but
lose
if I'm
their-
like, I got their attention there the whole night.
Yep.
I'm like, okay.
Did you, who opened for you?
Adrian Appalucci one night, Big J Okerson.
Okay.
wow.
Jew
Wow.
One night.
Technical
Wow.
Jew.
Yeah.
That's no Jew. That's no Jew. I said that's no Jew. That's no
That's
joke.
Jew. He is, yeah.
And
yeah,
what's the special called?
Oh, special's called Jew.
Jew.
Very
Period.
simply.
Period.
It's Ari Shafir : Jew. Is that the
Yeah.
it's
search term?
Ari Shafir, Jew.
a Jew.
Not a Jew.
Not
It's not a Jew. It's just
Jew.
Jew.
Jew. Yeah.
Perfect.
With the font of
Yeah,
like the letters,
yeah.
and it gives it to you. It's really.
I was looking for a name. I did at the Melbourne Festival, like the first like bringing out of it, you know, before I did the Edinburgh, and I was like, first name was Heretic, but then the more I thought about it, I was like, it's not really heresy.
No.
I'm not really going like this is all bullshit. It's none of that. Sorry. Leave
It's
that.
okay.
You can
You're
curse.
fine, you're fine.
She's filthy,
Oh, I'm so
dirty. I'm sorry. We had that conversation. She's
I'm
not filthy.
dirty
She's
now.
dirty.
Yeah.
She curses.
You
a
said
lot.
Melbourne in Australia.
yeah.
How is that? Because I haven't not been to Australia. Neither has Modi, but we've gotten a
Tons of
lot of
Jews in Melbourne.
messages
Tons of
from
Jews. Yeah, tons.
the Jewish community.
Did you go there on your own at a theater, or did you do it with an organization?
What
do you mean?
Festival, he said.
Oh, the
Well,
festival. I'm sorry.
They set it up for a tour, but I did a tour of all over. It's funny too because I did this in Melbourne with tons of Jews, and in Perth where there's probably 4 Jews,
Right.
and that's what I want. I want to make sure it worked for places like where they're like, I don't even know what a Jew is.
Okay.
Right.
Iceland.
No,
you
it's
do
very-
cheap jokes like I don't know anything about you. guys. Are
you set
cheap? I don't know.
you set it all up. You set it all up. Everything was. I always think when you and he's dropping much more than me in Hebrew. He's dropping mikvah without explaining it.
I tried. I actually tried to do that. I had to try to put in like Hebrew words so that they trust me that I know what I'm talking about.
Right.
So when I would say like this, I'm taking up time, but I go, I think it's from the Baba Kama or
Uh-huh.
Yedaya. I would say that so you could. I'm an expert. I've researched this.
Right. Yeah. You were dropping much when you explain kaparas, the swing the chicken around. I have a bit about that, but it's more like it's me explaining it to a Gentile. You're just like popping it. This is what I did with my father.
Yeah.
It was great. It was great. And
Thanks, Bodie.
and that's it. You're killing it, and you're like the podcast guy. No.
I just retired.
What do you mean?
I stopped my podcast.
But you're on everybody else's.
Oh, sure, yeah.
Yeah, you're here
And
today.
and
This
each
is
one.
this
This
is
is easier. Than
this is
doing
on
your
top
own.
of the mountain. This is it.
This is it.
Yeah. Here's Bodie
Moses.
is the final. Yeah. You guys are my 2 tablets.
That is it.
Yeah.
But and I watched them because I watched them from other people. I don't know whose you were on. I was laughing so hard. We were in bed and you were sleeping, and I was watching it. And maybe it was Robert Kelly or something. But you said that you would look exactly like every Jew that came out of the camps, and you took your shirt off,
Sucked my belly in.
and you literally started cracking up. I had to leave the room. That's how hard I was laughing because it's so.
Well,
really-
dude, it's like when you start comedy, like some of the jokes are in like this is wrong.
Yeah.
So that's a fun thing to say. Like, I can't believe you said that.
Taboo.
I got a joke for you, but but my dad's a survivor, so like that was like the ultimate wrong for us growing up.
Your dad's a survivor.
Yeah.
Wow, I didn't know that.
He was in a work camp. His dad was in a death camp, I guess, but he got liberated.
Wow.
You don't look that. How old are you? If I may.
I wasn't there.
We can
I
believe
know
that.
you weren't there, but like to have
You
a
didn't have me
father,
then.
to have
Yeah.
a father that
My dad's
was,
old.
Your dad's
he's
old.
He's like late 80s. I think he was 12 or something when
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Very late.
Where did you grow up?
I grew up in Auschwitz, but we just didn't feel like getting a new place. It was like greater Auschwitz, like not the old city, but like,
Like the suburbs?
yeah,
The suburbs
of
of
Auschwitz. Yeah, greater.
Auschwitz Manor.
Yeah.
It was right there. No,
Auschwitz
you.
Park.
Where
I
did
grew
you?
up in Maryland.
In Maryland.
Academy guy.
Okay.
Um,
And you went to yeshiva.
went to Yeshiva, BMT, no longer there, but now it's where Grus Kolelos.
Okay. But how religious was your family?
It's like where YU sends their
Gays. That's why you sons are gays.
Yeah, I hear. They probably do.
Why you sons their gays is amazing.
that should be on the title.
That's it.
It's
Where why you sons are gays.
Yeah.
There's probably a real market for
But
that.
it wasn't. It wasn't a Haredi yeshiva. It was a regular.
Orthodox.
Yeah.
But then once you get there, everybody goes up a level.
Right. Especially if they go to Israel.
Yeah.
Yeah. They do that here in Israel.
You feel so
Boom.
spiritual.
The ruach.
Yeah.
The spirit of Israel. I want to be bookie and I want to learn.
So that was your journey. You went there and you got more.
Everybody gets more. Also, it's like you can't find non-kosher food. You have to search for non-kosher food. So why wouldn't you just keep full kosher?
Right.
Yeah,
it's like in the 5 towns.
Yeah, sure. There's no reason not. And then also, it's like it's all around you. It's like breathing
your
religion.
parents were
As soon as you
both-
get over that hill, it's just like it's a costume party. First of all, it takes you back 180 years. It's like Tel Aviv is like modern. Everyone's just like this, shiksas with her shorts on, and
And he points to you.
and then you get over that. As soon as you come over that hill, it's like 1800.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Everybody's in their outfits.
Okay, so what happened? How did you turn into this?
I got out, and then I just had a crisis of faith and realized I didn't believe in God, and then I was like, I'm done.
So you Mamish don't believe in God.
Yeah,
Okay.
but I don't really think about it anymore.
You don't. No. It's
So like I struggled with it for a while, but now it's like
right. I've to me God is just it's oneness. I always say it's Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God, the Lord is one. It's oneness. So this is God right here.
That's really like a case
So-
for like the mushroom spirituality.
It's
Yeah.
completely,
So
even
we're
though
all
I'm not a
we're all
mushroom,
connected.
but we're all together here. You, me, Leo, Periel, Joey, the engineer. This is godness. This is godliness right here.
We're interesting.
One.
Say it again.
Shema Yisrael Adonai Eloheinu Adonai Echad. Hear, O Israel, the Lord our God. The Lord is one. Not that there's one God. God is one.
It's oneness.
It's oneness.
Wow.
That's what it is.
Dude, that's mushrooms. Everybody who takes it was like, we're all connected.
Yeah.
That's
100%,
it. That's it.
yeah.
I never drew the line.
I-
Fuck,
I-
I gotta re-record this fucking special.
That's amazing. No, but it really is. No,
Yeah.
it's when things work out.
But also the idea that your mitzvah is all our mitzvahs. We're all getting a little closer. Those guys, the talis guys,
yeah.
tefillin guys, excuse
Tefillin
me. They're
guys.
Like you put on tefillin. If you get away from us while we're praying, we'll all get a little bit closer.
If you get away from us while you're praying.
Periel and her shorts.
Oh, and her show. Oh,
I want to hear about
we
your
can't concentrate on what we're doing. It's showing me.
No, they love putting tefillin on. They were doing it
They
at the
love it.
festival.
They don't love putting it on me.
No, they don't.
yeah. And it's
No,
again.
we've already
and what is
we've already
tefillin?
talked
It's
about that.
it's the Shema. It's the prayer of the Shema on your hand and on your head, and it reminds you to connect your head and your head and your heart together.
Right.
To be working from both of them, and it's
Unless
just.
you're a woman.
And if some guy's asking you to put on tefillin on the street, if you don't believe in it, do you know how happy you're making him?
Yeah.
You have a chance in the middle of the day to make somebody happy. Make them happy.
Just may as well.
You may as well.
It's
yeah.
like signing one of those things for Greenpeace. Like, I don't care. Just take it. I know you get 50 cents. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Yeah. Or, the new version of that, when you're on a plane and they give out that credit card thing, they get a kickback if they hand that out. So just give it to me and then throw it away.
And throw it away. Oh, that's true. That's
Oh,
good.
even if you don't fill it out.
Yeah.
yeah,
Oh, I
make
didn't
them
know
feel
that.
happy. Give them
Yeah.
a little. Oh, that's
Make
very
a flight
nice.
attendant's day.
Yeah.
That's great. Happy flight attendants.
Yeah. Make a flight attendant's day.
I don't know. I don't like these things that only the men are allowed to do.
Well,
Look
he
at
ha-
it differently.
in his
Okay, can I give you a
special.
different way to look at it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That men have to do it. You're off the hook.
Yeah.
Right.
Like Mariv, you don't have to deal with it.
Myra, the evening. I love how he
Thank
throws that and
you.
doesn't even translate.
No.
Every time I say anything in Hebrew, they make me translate and give a reason for
No,
it.
Yiddish.
He just throws it out.
Yiddish, I make you translate. Hebrew, I understand.
Mariv, yeah, but in your
You're off the
special,
hook
you
'cause you
talk
didn't make
about.
an idol, so you're off the hook.
You didn't make
Better
an
way of
idol.
looking
I
at
want
it.
to
No,
hear
but-
about your crisis of faith.
No, hold on. But in his special, he talks about how the women are like.
It was a perfect venue.
The
'cause
men
they
are in
were
the
up
service,
there.
and the women. It was like one of those two-tier theaters. He goes, the women are up there, blocked away, trying to see what's happening,
watching us participating.
and not doing anything. Yeah.
It's an easy way to get out of misogyny.
I don't know what to tell you. If you want it, you can do whatever you want. If you,
There's always a second way of looking at things.
Always.
Yeah.
Sometimes a third.
There's one where it's like you can't, the interest, you can't charge interest
Yep.
to a Jew. And so then the angry non-Jews are like, so they'll charge us interest, but they won't charge each other interest. That's how much they hate us. And they go, no. It's a favor. Of course you charge interest. You're loaning money for a business. You're supposed to charge interest. But to my brother, I'm affording you this favor that is a bad business move for me. Here's a no interest loan.
right. So when I did my first mortgage at AIG, it's a completely kosher. Like everybody's with a yarmulke there.
really?
It's a mortgage
Yeah, how do you-
company, and when you do a
You
mortgage,
have a goy who does the final
no,
paperwork.
You have the closing lawyer, and you're signing for a half hour. You're sitting there signing your name, and then all of a sudden I see something with the B'ezrat Hashem with the on top BH with God's help, and I'm like, whoa, what's this? He goes, this is saying that even though we are both Jews, it's
But you have a hecture to charge interest?
and it's a business, not between friends. And I signed it anyway. But
That's what they're talking about. The business is what they're talking about.
Leo,
Not allowed.
When Leo first began to live with me and began to live a Jewish life through me, kind of, he goes, the loopholes.
Just loopholes.
The
We love
loopholes
a
are
loophole.
insane.
Yeah.
What do you mean? I can do this because I did that, and the
The
loopholes.
loopholes are great. That's what makes us lawyers. So I'm surprised they would go straight. They should get a non-Jew an intermediary, kind of like chametz. Where
Yeah.
it's like one non-Jew will buy the whole town's chametz for $1. Yeah.
The unleavened bread for those. Everybody just knows what chametz is on this podcast.
Let's hope not.
Okay.
Okay, let's include the nuns.
Let's hope not.
Yeah.
The nuns.
Let's include you
It's like
stupid
the
fucking goys. Let's catch you up. How dumb you are. Fucking idiots. Do you even finish high school?
Do you
Idiots.
call non-Jews going in your show? No.
Yeah, I really try to go derogatory on them. I try to flip it as much as I could.
I'm struggling over
Here,
here.
I got you. I see it.
Yeah, you got it. Okay.
See what's happening there?
See, he's handy. He's a handy Jew.
Not his first. Thank
That's a
you.
great.
Thank you, Ari. Thank you.
No, in my special, I'd literally describe goyim and why we use the word goyim and all that, and so we get into it on that. I love the word goyim.
It's a nice word.
It's such a good word.
I have no qualms with it.
Yeah.
You know what's I got told by my Rebbe of Rhine. He said don't use the word I'm blanking on it right now. Non-Jewish woman.
Shuksa.
Shiksa.
Yeah.
You know why?
Why?
It comes from the root word shekes, which is like a maggot or a worm.
Oh my
Disgusting.
God! I didn't realize
yeah, and he's
that.
like, don't do that about a human. That's no.
Oh wow!
That's a good. It's a good takeaway.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know that either. Obviously.
Thank God we learned that today. Today I learned something. Oh my God. So tell us. I mean, I don't know you that. I'm not in your like circle of comedians where you guys do podcasts and pull your penises out and no, it's not normal what goes on in that podcast.
Yeah.
Wait, we could be pulling our penises out this whole time.
You had it,
Part
dude.
two, the next half hour.
The
All
next
right.
half
If you
hour is
subscribe
we'll
to
be
the
naked.
Patreon, I'll get naked.
The only page.
When did you really have your crisis of faith? What was
In yeshiva.
in your shoes?
There was a I'm trying to think. So in my dorms, it was like 2 beds, one on each side, and they had these reading lights above your bed.
Yeah.
Just in case you want to get a little Gemara in before you go to sleep,
Yeah.
So I left it on for Shabbos. I had everyone has a sink too for washing your hands in the morning. How much of this do you know?
He knows.
Everything.
He knows.
Okay.
Nagelwasser.
Okay, yeah.
No, he's there. He's
Okay,
there. He's
okay.
there.
So I peed in that sink plenty of times. I don't pee in the cup, but if you don't want to go all the way to the dorm bathrooms, whatever. So I was there by myself, and I left the reading light on so I could read. But I take one of that cup and put it on top. It's like a like a fixture, and you can put it on and drown out the light. The thing kept falling off. And it was like this light was in my eye, and I was just like, I'm just gonna turn the light off. Like, this is so frustrating. You know when you're tired and you can like justify anything?
Yep.
You're like, the professor said no lates. If you're not there, you know, the paper's done. And you're like,
Right.
oh, I'm sure I'll be fine. I just want to sleep a little more.
Right.
Maybe my flight will be delayed. I'll just sleep a little more. You know, you just justify anything. So I was like, I just want to sleep. And so then I got up to turn it off. I didn't turn it off, but I saw people pass by my windows right by the entrances. And I'm like, fuck, somebody's going to see this light go off in the yeshiva. Like, you can't on Friday night.
Couldn't you just be like, oh, the light blew?
Could. Could
Oh,
lie, or could go, I did it by I didn't think. Which happens sometimes. That's why you
Right.
put the piece of paper over the light, you know,
Right.
block you. But so I was like, now I'll get in trouble. I'll get caught. But that stuck with me.
And that was where
The
you
idea that I was worried about humans and
snowballed.
not God.
judging people judging you that you did.
But I'm like, it's not their law. It's God's law. I don't know why
It's
I
not
would worry
God's law
about.
either. It's not God's law either. When the Torah came out, there were no lamps. There were no electrical lamps.
Yeah.
There were no electrical lamps when the Torah came out. It was
fire,
just bring Mashiach energy and God is oneness. That was all
Wait, I
that
have a
came
question.
out. So I'm just now they have those crazy lamps that turn. Have you seen those?
This is the stuff that makes me crazy.
No,
Is like,
So you can dim it and not.
No. So it's a lamp on your bed, and then you just have on top. You could just turn.
So it blocks it out.
So it
It
just
stays
blocks
on.
it stays on, but you
So
just
it's muksa, but
It's-
muksa is just a fence.
it's not muksa because you're turning obviously it's not muksa. They sell them in like the most kosher stores.
Interesting.
But it's a way to do that.
Loophole.
It's a loophole.
What's
But also, it's not. You're not supposed to have light. It's just you're not supposed to use flames. And so, like, somebody researched what a light bulb is. And like, oh, it's a little spark, and they're like, it's out.
Now,
this
Sorry.
is insane.
Yeah.
it's not.
Wait, but
Are you
what's that?
what's the sect of Jews that sings fucking 6 hour
Breslov?
the Chaim
No, Karlbach.
Karbach? Are you one of
I
those?
love Karlbach music, but I'm not. If I had to connect with something, it'd be Chabad.
Okay.
It would be Chabad, I'm Modi. I don't know. But Chabad is the closest to me because
You
of the
strike
Rebbe.
me as a little Karbachy though.
Yeah, when I
He's
sing,
nice,
musical.
seriously.
When I
Because he's
sing,
musical.
Muse baby.
Yeah,
And
but-
also just like it's the psychedelic part of it.
what psychedelic? I don't psychedelic.
You have like it's a vibe.
Yeah, but so I'm telling you,
You add jewel tones to life.
We're all one.
we always talk about it
positivity.
here. We always say, the Jewish people aren't the chosen people. We're the choosing people. If that light thing doesn't work for you, leave it.
Yeah.
I have a friend who said to me, he stopped putting on tefillin. I go, why? He goes, it's too much. It's 45 minutes every morning. I can't. I go, who told you to do 45 minutes?
45 minutes.
Just do the shema. Just to do the main prayer. Take it on.
97 seconds.
It's what?
It's 97 seconds. You rap quick. Blah, blah,
No,
blah, blah, blah.
but he was doing it with all of Shachris.
Yeah.
So I said to him, just do what makes you happy. Do what makes you be a better person. You can. It's not all or none.
So I have a question. Going back to when you're in your dorm and you're dealing with this light situation, and I joked you could say it blew out and it went out, and that would be a lie.
Yeah.
So that would also be a sin.
Yeah.
I'm assuming. But
It's not. Okay, go ahead.
But I guess my question is because I grew up super, super, super Catholic.
Yeah.
And there
Same,
was
but different.
always this thing that was taught to us that like if you don't know that what you were doing was a sin, that it doesn't count.
Okay.
Yeah.
Like
Sure.
ignorance.
But you can't
So-
claim it because
No, I know, but does that exist in Judaism?
100%. I had a thing with one of the rabbis where I was like, once I got more religious, I realized my friends who were not religious at home were
Just flipping switches and stuff. Like,
well, they were doing sins, but
Yeah.
they weren't aware of it.
Sins.
Yeah, or like they were having sex with non-Jewish women.
That's a sin.
No, not
no,
a sin.
not a sin.
As long as they went to a bath first, they're fine.
Okay.
There's no nida laws with non-Jews.
Okay.
So as long as as long as you don't pull out, you're fine. You're not wasting seed.
That's also why they're allowed to
As long
have
as you don't
sex
wear a
with
condom.
prostitutes
Yeah.
if you're married, as long as they're not
Can't wear a
Jewish.
condom. Can't pull out.
You can
That's the
have
only thing.
sex.
Beatlesman is about as much as you'll get with a negative. There.
oh my.
Bittlesman. You know what that is? It's wasting time. You're wasting time. You could be learning Torah, but you're with
but
a
it's about as bad as watching Black Mirror on Netflix.
But wait, premarital sex or extramarital sex is not covered. Like
If
what?
it's not, if it's with somebody not Jewish,
Or a prepubescent woman would also be okay.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
Stop
but
that.
if you haven't bled yet, then it's okay.
hence
There's no
the
nida laws.
crisis of faith.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, but that's
Anyway,
true,
so
right?
yeah, it's true. There's no nida laws with non-Jews.
That's
That's
right.
why there's tons of like there's a lot of non-Jewish like relations in the Torah.
Yes, there are.
It's not like frowned upon.
Because it just doesn't
Boaz,
count.
that was one with
Right.
somebody. It's like
Yeah, it doesn't count.
it doesn't count as needed. It's just the laws of like she's on her period. And if a Jewish woman goes and bathes, then it's also sort of okay. If you get the
Interesting.
Yeah, but I don't focus so much on that. And when you do, you focus on it. And
Yeah, again, the
what's the
choosing
lesson for
people.
what's the lesson for like for other things?
well,
You know.
yeah. So I said like if I tell my Jewish friends to stop having sex with non-Jews and get more religious, they're gonna start sinning and having sex with Jews.
Because you're bringing attention
Yeah, or
to
if I
it.
tell them, hey, that this non-kosher is a sin. If I get it through to them where I'm like, oh, I guess it is. I didn't realize.
Right.
Now they realize. Now they're sinning, because before they didn't
Right.
know.
So you're saying
Right.
it's better that with the non-Jewish girls.
Right. So yeah, the Rebbe had to be like, ooh,
It's better
give
just
me a
leave
minute
people
on that
be.
one. That's a tough question. If you don't tell someone they're sinning, then let them just like,
That's kind of the
Be
opposite
ignorant.
of like Christian evangelicals, because
Yeah.
they like want to go out and let people know they're sinning and like what
I
the
will go to
change.
hell if I
Yeah.
don't know about Jesus.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't think that let people know what they're doing good, and let them
It's
focus
again,
on
this,
that.
that's your.
Yeah, you have a
you have a
very
very
unique-
specific,
Yeah.
Yeah.
like
Yeah, I
niche
want-
view of these things. We're trying to zoom out a little bit.
I want Mashiach. I want Mashiach. I
Hey,
believe.
when do you want it?
I believe Mashiach
Last
is already
Thursday.
here.
wow. Okay.
I
That's a
believe
poster,
Mashiach
dude.
is already here. I really believe Mashiach is already here.
Yeah.
And now it's just about revealing it.
I can't-
When you
Dude, when
tape your
Mashiach comes
special,
and these fucking goys get slaughtered by the hundreds.
they're not gonna get slaughtered by the
Oh, your
hundreds.
day's
That's
coming,
not what
motherfuckers.
happens.
Oh, it's so fun. Kanye had a point. Kanye. Your day's coming.
I think I'm a
No.
righteous goy for the record, and I think I'll be fine.
You'll be fine, and it's not Goyim being slaughtered, and actually everybody works together. The Goyim work with the non-Jews and help them. It's just a Mashiach energy. Don't you want people to get
I don't
along?
know. I gotta listen to more of this.
You're more on this.
Like
you-
the rapture over
Yeah.
there.
That's it. You can start to date Leo now.
Okay.
I mean,
him up your
It's
ass.
kosher. It's not Jewish, so you're
not
good.
Jewish.
No need to laws.
No, but I really believe that like when you tape a special, when you do a comedy show, you kill for an hour and 10 minutes, people are all laughing. But you had a better time than them. When you're on stage and you kill,
Kind of jazz.
it's so much. I believe like that is Mashiach energy.
Ooh.
Do you?
Never thought about it that way, but it is oneness. When you get a crowd all together,
100%.
you ever get a room where it's like, I'm picturing a night at the Comedy Store. We would go up and down before like it got famous, before it got like really big again. It was like a dark
Yeah.
hole. But there were some nights it was still kind of full. It's just once in a while. And there are these 4 kind of fat black women in the front middle. And they're so jovial and having and it just fed out from there.
Yep.
And we all went through them to the comic, and it was just like the whole place is one energy.
It's one
having
energy.
a blast, and it's like we're all together there for like an hour or two.
I brought a friend of mine to my special taping who has this addictive laugh. You put him in there, and the laughter
Good effort, man.
around
Nobody
it
put a plant.
is so good. Laughter's addictive. It brings.
That's right.
Laughter is Mashiach energy.
When's it coming out? When's your special coming out?
We're on version 3 now of the editing.
Yeah,
We're going. It's not easy.
that's the hardest part.
I
really
I
hard.
can't even. I filled ADD and dyslexia. He with spreadsheets and numbers and
You got to do it. Everybody hates it. Comics hate that part because it's back to paperwork.
So my.
But we've always avoided. And you're like, can you just do it one day every 3 years? You're like,
I
give it that
wish I
now.
was Jim Gaffigan, stand in one spot. What's it called? Park and bark. You park and you bark out the jokes.
Oh, it's way easier to edit that.
Woo!
Yeah, Modi's running around the stage like he's in Cirque du Soleil.
I'm running around.
you match
Everything.
this?
I'm talking with my hands completely. I'm
Yeah.
not doing your yeshiva rabbi thing is this, but my hands are like I'm a 3, 2, and then a 4 again, and they sold 1, and
Can I
it's-
give you a tip to help?
Yes,
some
yes,
edits?
yes, yes.
There's just one thing that it's mirror here or there, because sometimes like the mic's in this hand, then it's this hand. If you do a little flip, if you're not saying anything in a moment, then suddenly it's in the other hand.
Oh, just reverse the image.
Reverse, yeah.
That works.
As long as the stage is not like has words on it. I don't know what your backdrop is, but if your backdrop's like this,
We do have words on
do
it,
have
but not on
Modi.
every
if
shot.
it's a close, if it's a close, that's a possible fix sometimes.
Oh, that's
Interesting.
cute.
That's a good
Interesting.
takeaway.
5
Thank
seconds,
you.
whatever.
Wow.
Thank you.
Thank you. That's see.
That's all, folks.
That's it. Thanks for coming. ModiLive.com for all
That's
shows.
Inside Baseball with the Koufax brothers.
I think people like the inside baseball stuff.
They do. People do love to. People love to watch specials and see like. Even though they keep continuity together, they want to see where like
Different crowd members.
Different
That guy
crowd-
wasn't sitting there before. That's a
Leo
second show.
catches it. Leo catches it really.
Well, that's only because now I'm looking through yours and I'm like,
yeah.
you know, splicing out those little moments.
But yeah, like a Jim Gaffigan stands there in one spot, and he's the same distance from the stool in every. It's
I helped
so.
Big J with his, and he sits on the stool.
He sits on the
Doesn't
stool.
move.
yeah, he doesn't move.
And it's still annoying to edit.
Really?
Still annoying.
It's
Yeah.
hard to edit.
But at least you're not switching hands and like move and like a different place on the stage. It was
Right.
way easier, but still.
We just watched Sarah Silverman's and she's really still. And so I
didn't
was
move.
like, oh, that would be in my head. I'm thinking, oh, that'd be easy to edit. But then, like towards the end, she does this whole crowd work thing with this one specific woman, which then, like, I guess ties her to that whole show.
Right.
To use in terms of like shots that show the crowd and stuff. So I
Yeah.
thought that was interesting.
But with Jim Gaffigan, you don't see the audience at all.
I love that.
There's no, it's pitch
Yeah, that's
black.
true. You never
don't,
see
there's-
that.
You, I,
hear them, though,
in my
right?
mind
Pitch Black.
think.
What's that
I
one?
think-
What's that one called?
What?
Is that a new one?
Jim Gaffigan? It's Jim Gaffigan. Any special he's ever done is what it's called. And they're all
That guy's
hysterical.
secret, the most prolific comic in
he
the world.
is. It's like every time I log
one
in, there's a new
understands it.
special.
Yeah.
He's amazing. I
Yeah.
love him.
I love
You
him.
sort of forget about it, but he's never stopped producing. Just,
amazing.
Like special after special.
Wow.
One time I had like remember when you went iTunes, like you had an album and you were like trying to get it to go #1, and so it is for like an afternoon, and you're like, I got the screenshot, it's so cool, and then it drops back down to somewhere for the week, and then you realize 1 through 7 are all Gaffigan
Oh,
albums.
Gaffigan. Oh,
And he's
Gaffigan.
like, good luck with your #1 for an afternoon.
Yeah,
I'm back
no,
to
it's
top.
so easy.
Yeah.
It's so
top 10.
it's so parv. It's so
I forgot about the
everybody
iTunes top
can
10.
relate to it.
Yeah.
but
Everyone can relate to it. It doesn't offend anyone.
right.
Not in a bad way. It's just like, this is great. It's, it's ice cream.
I really thought that at one point they brought him into a studio and he just told the jokes and they just put the laughter
No.
in. No, but obviously not.
I like that because the focus should be right there.
Yeah,
You know?
it really is.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No.
So then you had the crisis of faith with a lamp,
Yeah.
of faith with a lamp.
Yeah.
And then
Life.
what happened?
Then I waited. I sat on it for a while, for about a year. It was with Shana Bet, my second year of Yeshiva. And then I sat on it for about, it just bothered me. I kept ruminating out in my head. Good word, Ari. And then, the more I thought about it, the more it kept like, I think it means I don't believe in God. And I didn't want to like do anything wrong until I was sure, you know, be methodical about it. Don't just like, fuck it, I'll fuck a hooker now. But the more I thought, I talked to my friends. I was in Yeshiva University at the time. I talked to my friends about it, and then I was just like, they kept trying to prove, no, here's why there's God. I'm like, these proofs don't work because you can't prove God. If you could prove God, he would just make himself like accessible. He would just make himself known.
Right.
You know, it's this leap of faith. I don't know. I don't understand why.
So God proves himself to me every day.
But then why not prove himself to everybody by
But-
going,
but
hello,
you have to-
it's
you have to
me.
think.
I
You have
see
to-
you.
Because that's not God. That's not God.
Yeah.
So
Well, he's got to
everybody-
leave a message and some leaves.
There is a message in some leaves. Sometimes it says "buy Apple" is all. Buy Apple stock is written out in the leaves, and that's my sign. I really believe it's. I really see him every day.
Yeah.
I wake up and I wake up. I wake up. Modeh ani.
Yeah.
Here I am. I'm back up again. Even better if I had a night's sleep. If the pills kicked in, I got my sleep in. That's even better. I have a husband. I have a home. That's God to me. That's God to me. It's not the guy up in heaven screaming, "You did good, you did bad." So God proves himself to me every day.
Yeah.
Every
But
day.
that's how you choose to view it, because what about people who don't have a home or a husband or all those things that you listed?
Oh, yeah, good
God
point.
doesn't exist
They
for
have
them.
different ways to.
God
to,
hates them.
God
He
hates
says
them.
he just hates
They're
them.
being
God just
punished.
doesn't like them.
They're
They're
being
bitches.
punished.
God just kind of hates them and just wants to show them. God hates people too. We're made in his image. I hate. He must hate.
Yeah. No, I believe me. I'm not saying that.
No, I
this
get
is-
it, but
you know what I'm saying.
Yeah, it was just like it wasn't in me,
Okay.
and it was like I either have the belief or you don't.
Okay, but it's obviously in you because
It's not. I was just
you're-
doing it on autopilot. I was just there.
Yeah, autopilot. I've
You know?
spoken about
Okay,
that.
Some people have a deep love for America, real like
Yeah.
patriots, and some people are like, I can take it or leave it.
Right.
Yeah, I
And
was
so
just
it's either
born
in them or it's not. It's taught also, but that belief is either in you or it's not.
Okay.
You know, and it just wasn't. I was just doing it because I was raised in it.
Right.
And so
and
then
are
I'm
your
like-
parents religious? They still are.
They
Yeah,
still are.
siblings are.
Wow.
Wow.
Yeah.
I had a similar moment. I mean, I mentioned earlier I grew up super Catholic, and one of my super early memories is standing outside of an abortion clinic in Florida
And what?
in the heat
Trying to pick up chicks?
with a giant poster saying abortion is wrong or whatever it is. And on the back of the poster, they had printed out prayers to just read while people were like in your face screaming or honking their horns at you, or like, so you would just hold the poster like this in the sun. And I was a child.
Wow.
I was like a young person. I had no business being there, but I was old enough to be like, this isn't like, I don't feel this like conviction that
rage.
everyone
Yeah.
seems to be like tapping into, that like religious rage that comes from like a belief. I was like, if you start to unpack all of this stuff, I'm like, I'm not there with you.
Yeah, but like, luckily you were able to figure that out. Most people would do that just so they can connect to their parents more.
Right, and they become an adult and stay with it.
Right.
Never really think like, do I actually care?
Right.
You see a lot of older people like relax a little on judging others.
Yeah.
In Catholics and Judaism,
Yep.
but they're like, that's not the way. And then eventually, like, I just want to see my grandkids.
Yeah.
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 Teach their own. They become like relaxed.
Yes.
Yeah.
You ever see those kids? You ever see those videos where the kid, like 5-year-olds, are crying when Trump got elected?
Yeah.
You know,
Yeah,
and you're like,
that's equally creepy.
Yeah, it's like this kid doesn't know anything about the policies or how they affect him. So
Yeah.
that's just your parents making you cry.
But the kid wants to make his parents happy.
Yeah,
And the kid,
exactly.
Lakers. I don't
Yeah.
know what Lakers. Are
Yeah.
you kidding me? You're 5 years old. You don't know who's playing, but they bought you the shirt. They bought you the hat. Your dad's going nuts. You want to connect with your dad. And so Lakers,
Yeah.
Trump, America.
I think it's really fucked up when
mikvah.
you indoctrinate children
Yeah, into politics. Then they don't really care.
with any politics other than
Then
mine.
they're probably going to grow up and not vote. You know? Like most of us.
Hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully, because
Hopefully those people don't vote. Just kidding. That's a joke.
what are you up to? Do you tour? Talk to me.
I'm going back on tour in October, November.
Where are we starting?
Where
New hour.
Where are you going?
Starting in Philadelphia, there's Parks Casino, and then just doing the Midwest, Chicago, and Iowa City I've never been to, and
Oh, wow.
Iowa City.
Kansas City, and I don't know, St. Louis, all those Midwest places. But this will be like not the Jewish hour.
Really?
What's
wanna
it going to be? I can't imagine
How do you
anything
build
coming
that
out of your mouth that's not going to be
Yeah.
something.
Well, I mean, it'll be the Jewish.
It'll be-
the Jewish
yeah.
hour. Yeah.
It'll be
It'll be the Jewish,
it'd still be a
non-Jewish,
Jew
yeah.
doing
Yeah.
an hour. It'll be-
But I leaned so far in this hour. So, and we call just inside base, we call it hours. It might be 45 minutes, it might be a 90, but we call it an
Yeah.
hour. But
Good
like,
call.
yeah, I leaned so far into that. I want to do something. It's like I'm going the other way.
Okay.
Of just like, there'll still be some like, I think this one's kind of shaping together as like where we put our thoughts, and you're a good example of this, on like looking at positivity versus like focusing on the negatives.
right.
You know, there's always some positives you can look at.
Yeah.
And if you focus on that, kind of mentally, your life is better. Like what we were talking about Judaism, and you were always like, no, it's great. God, up here. Like you're focusing on a positive
Right.
instead of,
So when you finish a special like the one you did,
yeah.
and then now you're on the road with this new hour, how, is that like a feeling of relief for you? Like you've turned in a term paper or a project in school, and you're like, that's done. Now I'm working on the next thing. Or do you like, is it hard and
Keep in mind, he manages me.
Okay.
And he runs the agent and the publicist and everything. He runs it all. It's Mashiach energy, 100%. And he always
paperwork? He doesn't want to
compares
do paperwork.
Yeah.
until he sees
Great.
the show sold out. He feels like he has like a term paper to hand in. We have to press this and get more and this and that. And
sold out, like, did it,
so
over.
he just sold
Never
out,
enjoyed.
done. I have to think about that. We hand it in the term paper. When he gets it, he'll do the show.
Yeah.
So that's kind of
I don't even care about the grade. I just want to turn it in.
Yeah. Yeah. This really is, each one of these specials is like a term paper, more like a senior research paper.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like your
Yes.
thesis paper.
Yes.
Where it's not just a paper, it's our like thesis.
Yeah.
we did a show in someplace in New Jersey, and I have a joke that I do for the non-Jews right away to make them like to bring them in, and this joke we did, and he clipped it and put it up just to feed Instagram a little something. The thing went nuts, 5.4 million in a week, and
But it's all people arguing theology.
it's
of
like
the
a
content.
joke.
right,
It's like
yeah.
a joke. It's like an old Catskill joke, you know, and
They're arguing about something that's nothing to do with
I'm
Yeah.
thinking to myself, I have 2 hours of these jokes. I'm dying to do like just it's the old school priest and a rabbi walk into a bar.
yeah.
Those
Like jokes that are just like in the Creative
Joke
Commons.
jokes.
At this
joke
point.
jokes.
Yeah.
Joke jokes.
Yeah, we always think like, who wrote?
Yeah.
You know, a priest or rabbi and an Irishman walked into a bar. Who wrote? Somebody wrote that
Some of them are
originally.
so
and now it's
amazing.
in the ether.
And then, but then you take those jokes that people. Whenever I do a show, someone always comes over to me afterwards and gives me one of these jokes. They tell them horribly.
Yeah.
But then I go and fix them and bring the this and
Yeah.
take one of the characters out and bring that in then, and then I'll do it at a table comic as
Dude,
a table.
You should do once a set at the Cellar. Do one of those jokes, and then just get them.
Yeah.
Then now you've got them. Instead of
Yeah.
doing an hour somewhere with just that joke after the joke, but just once. And if it doesn't work, then like I'll do that one again tomorrow.
Well, he also had the idea of doing for the Florida crowd of where you walk in, it's all like white hair, like older people.
Yeah.
Like, because they love like doing a special just for them at like a
That's
retirement.
That's what I really want to
center
do.
or something.
When I one of my demographics is over 80 Florida Jews.
Yeah.
And I mean the shows are amazing. It's
So they
over
love to laugh.
2,000 seats.
So it might be the
in these
last time.
places. It's amazing. They get there. They bring a singer so they can adjust their hearing aids and open their candy.
Stop it.
And then I do my material. My genius.
candy.
No, they open their candy. They
Werther's.
open their candy, sit down. They bring all their walkers to the front of the stage. The front of the stage looks like a surgical
Wow.
supply location.
Wow.
And then I do my material. There's walkers and this and IV pumps
And nurses and-
nurses.
You should
And
sell autographed like split open tennis balls.
those tennis balls. Yes, that's
my
hysterical.
God.
Wow,
a Modi
that's
tennis ball already
That is
pre-split.
so funny.
But I do about 40 minutes of my material, and then I just go into priest and rabbi and this and two
love it.
and they
hunched over.
hunched over laughing,
Serious?
can't breathe,
Yeah.
crying, wiping
Yeah.
tears. And
They're the original comedy audience.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah,
There's
you're
a
right.
direct lineage. These
Yeah.
people
Yeah.
went to Ciro's in fucking
Yeah.
1971 and watched. It's them.
I say it to them. I go, I'm performing in front of you. You've seen Henny Youngman.
Yeah.
You've seen Milton Berle. You've seen Alan King. You've seen the biggest of the best comedians. And
I
now,
did
now
I
it's
hosted
Modi.
a show with Jay London and Shelley Berman, and a long time ago at like a Jewish student union and wherever in L.A. I was new, and he was performing. I didn't know him. I didn't know he was this legendary
Yeah.
like Catskilly comic.
Yeah.
And he was doing his act, and then somebody goes, the radio. I don't know, something about the radio bit. He goes, I've been doing that one in like 40 years. All right, hold on a second. And then he did it. And,
Wow.
But it was like, how do you have a bit you haven't done in 40 years? How long have you been around, bro?
So it's funny because during the pandemic, when I had like so much time, I would YouTube old comedians, and you see they always say someone in the audience asked me to do this joke. And they do like one of their old bits.
That's their way of not being like in the moment. Yeah.
It's a way of being like, I wasn't going
workaround.
to do this. It's such an old joke of mine, but I'll bring it back because someone in the audience
Right,
asked
right.
me
It's
to
a
do it.
loophole. We
Yeah.
love a loophole.
It's a loophole. It is a loophole.
That's
And
gonna
with
be the
Jewish
title
audience,
of the
by the way, if I'm doing Sony Hall again. I did it last Christmas. I'm doing it mid-year, and I'm trying to think. Do I do the same stuff I did? You can't win with a Jewish audience. I heard that last time, or I brought my friend to see you do that bit and you didn't do
Right.
it.
Yeah.
You can't.
There's like a percentage difference. I saw Gaffigan actually in Austin, I think at South by or Moon Tower at some theater. I'd never seen him live before doing a long set. And he did, 55 minutes or whatever, all new, whatever the hour he's working on, crushing. And then he was like, all right, guys, that's it. It's a fun time. I guess I'm just going to go back to the hotel and warm up a Hot Pocket. And then everyone's like, yeah! And then he did 15 Hot Pocket minutes and then
Oh,
gave them what they
wow.
wanted. And then see you later. Standing O, goodbye.
Oh, that's
so
amazing.
funny. Oh my god.
Hilarious.
Sometimes you have to give the people what they want.
Yeah.
That's like when sometimes you backstage will be like, Leo, what am I giving them? I'm just like, just play the hits.
Oh, I'll tell you.
I've been thinking about it,
Do you
to
want
be
to hear
honest.
funny and dark? Want to hear funny and
Yeah,
dark?
for sure.
2 summers ago, what was it? 3 summers ago?
What?
In the Catskills?
Oh, that was like that was 2 summers
Whatever
ago.
it was ago. I'm in the Catskills. I take this one place. It's like a wood. It's like where they have like the homes.
Vacation home.
Vacation homes, like kind of like, but they have like they call it a casino or the community room. They get 600 sometimes people, and it's an amazing show. And they love comedy. They're coming from their bungalows or not like it's homes. It's nice homes. They come in and they do this show. And backstage looked so gross. They had this television there, like there was the size of this room from like 1980 with the the TV with the back. They never threw away.
Yeah.
Cobwebs.
I throw it away.
And this horrible. And you had and the stage is right there. The singer was on. I'm going on. I turn to Leo, and I go, "What am I opening with?" This is a few summers ago. He says to me, "The condominiums in Miami are crashing down, but this place is still standing."
Miami condos. That's so funny.
And I was like, whoa.
Wow.
I
And
was
it was
like,
right then, too.
I couldn't do it because it just happened.
Yeah, but you liked it.
But I loved it.
Where was this? This was in
Catskills someplace.
That's that fine line. These are my favorite laughs, and it's worth the risk of like you're never invited back here, or like
Yeah, you
know,
love
yes.
that. You love that.
because if you get a laugh off, if you get that crowd that night, let's just say it happened the day after or a week later, and there's that moment, and then if they decide if they don't laugh, that
break.
sucks.
Yep.
I went over the clip, but if they do laugh and you got them to laugh at that, it's the ultimate laugh.
ultimate. It's the ultimate. I did a show for
Or they're going like,
Parky's.
It's just like.
I did a show for Parky's. I'll give you a perfect example of this where you have to make that choice right on the spot. I did a show for Parky's Synagogue. They're doing their fundraiser at the Waldorf Astoria when it was still open, and 1,000 people in the audience. In the back were like the younger, that their kids are in the school. In the front were like billionaires. And the rabbi went on with the guy who they were honoring and his son. He's a Holocaust survivor, and the rabbi's a survivor, and they are in the Holocaust. They're talking about, I could have been a name on a wall if I wasn't on the kinder transport, and this one does this, and I survived Dachau just to build Jewish education, and it was going too long. And the guy running the event goes, Modi, just get up there. Just this has to end.
Yeah.
We need to get this moving. I already done my set. I get up there. There's a podium, and they're all in the middle. Literally, you can almost see Schindler's trains coming by. Anyway, I get up, and they all see me, and the rabbi goes, hello, Modi. I go, hello. And they all just begin to walk off. Now the room is staring at me. And I said, ladies and gentlemen, I am not a son of a survivor or a grandson of a survivor. In the mid to late 1930s in Eastern Europe, my grandparents looked around and said, this doesn't look good. Murray, grab your valise and let's go to Palestine. And it could have gone either way. They could have
been like, be respectful. If you had one heckler, like, that's out of line.
Right,
You're
but
fucked.
they died.
That's great.
And there's a choice you had to make.
Yeah.
It was like, I'm following the Holocaust. It's insane. It was but those are the jokes.
It's also, it's such a cathartic laugh too. It's like allowing and it's a lot audience based, whether they'll allow it or not, but it's like allowing us to laugh at this pain. It helps us get through it.
Yeah.
That's why people ask, like, how does your dad feel about Holocaust jokes? Like, he understands. I'm not taking it lightly. I'm taking it seriously.
Yeah.
Rape jokes, Holocaust jokes, AIDS jokes are based in, this is a horrible thing.
Right.
So that's the joke that I'm not taking it seriously.
Right.
That is half of the joke right there.
Yep.
Because if you're like, let's just say this podcast went bad, and somebody's like, how did it go? I'm like, it was worse than one of these big three.
Right.
But if I go, it was worse than when I dropped my slice of pizza. They go, oh, is it slightly bad?
Right.
And you're like, no, the exaggeration is a thing. It's all based in that.
It's all based on, yeah.
That's a good wheelhouse. Rape, Holocaust, and AIDS. Story.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, I always, when you catch Ari's thing, you always say, you always throw out there, well, I'm going to go to hell, so I don't care.
Yeah.
You always say that, no?
Maybe. I don't know.
You kind of do, but you're not.
I'm not. I know there's no hell.
If anything, according to the Talmud, you're going to Olam Haba. You're going to heaven, because it says in the
We all go to
Talmud.
heaven. You fucked
it
up.
says it in
Now I
there.
know.
Comedians go to.
Oh, really?
To the world to come. It's a big
What's it called?
Gemara. What? Anshe
Anshe
Bediche.
Bediche.
Anshe Bediche. It's an amazing Gemara, and I've learned
You
that.
talk about that in your special?
No, I didn't. I didn't. But that
Next
was
special.
There's a way to push it.
it's a good one. Anyway,
You've got an interesting career, Modi,
thank you.
because everyone else is sort of reliant on clubs opening up to them. You've made your own business. My sister asked me, she's like, we saw this, or maybe I either saw this or heard about this comedian. He performed at this bar mitzvah or this wedding or whatever. And it was like, do you know him? They didn't remember your name. And I was like, sounds like Modi. Like, yeah, oh yes. And I was like, yeah, that's his fucking world.
During the pandemic, we built out our audience. Leo took over everything and built out our audience, and now we're doing theaters.
That's great.
And it's the people that used to come and see me at the UJA or at the B'nai B'rith are now buying a ticket
It's
theater.
lovely. They're going out.
They're going
When
out.
my sister, she'll take a safari to Kenya and they're like pretty high up Orthodox, like borderline more. And then I have people like, are Jews allowed to do that? Because they never take vacation. I'm like, they're allowed. They just don't.
Right.
And they're allowed to go out. You see them sometimes the Hasidim coming out to clubs, coming out to the cellar.
Yeah,
and
but
stuff.
his audience has changed a lot.
But like they're allowed to go out.
100%.
I call them frontier Jews because they're out there on the front lines. Like, hey, I won't use this language that they see when you're not before
Right.
and after you, but
Right.
it's fun to hear it.
No, but
You know?
Frontier Jews,
yeah.
that's amazing.
when I perform for some congregation or some yeshiva or some day school, which I'm not doing that often now, but you have to know your audience for that.
Yeah.
And
Right.
but when they're coming to see me, they're coming to see me. I
Yeah,
can
they
do what
already
I
know.
want. I still don't curse and all that because it's not
fine.
that's my thing.
Yeah.
But it's a different vibe.
But I'm saying you're making these people go into town.
Yep.
And they never would.
For the record, we're making it very easy for them to come into town. We're picking places very close to them.
You're not doing it on Friday, probably.
We're not doing any Friday night shows.
Yeah. And
But like they're going out. It's
They're going
great.
out.
They
It's-
never go out.
It's true, and
Frontier
it's really
Jews.
and I always tell them, I say, be the friend who brings the friends to the comedy club.
Yeah.
You see, I'm coming to town. Buy 8 tickets. You'll
Fill it
find.
after. Fill it after. Yeah.
Fill out after. And you made a night with your friends, and everybody
Yeah.
laughed and had a great time. It's better than sitting in some kosher steak restaurant. I'm gonna try that. You're laughing with your friends instead, and that's Mashiach energy, and that's what it is.
Yeah.
Worst case, they can.
But yes, I did build an audience without the
great.
clubs. I did it with synagogues, and I thank them all. It was, and then Leo popped it to the next level of bringing it
what?
into theaters.
It was mostly because I didn't want to go to any more.
Because I always saw
Yeah, dinners.
the Indian comics, the Arab comics, they always had it where it's like every Arab, every Indian would come out to see their guy.
Yep.
And it's like, damn, that's such a market.
But you still Jews come to see. My rabbi
Well,
is your biggest fan.
really?
Gav loves Ari.
I'm seeing a little bit of now good and bad where people like saw that and coming out to be like, oh, more of it's like, no, I'm gonna do a lot of fucking jokes. Like, so some of them are like, no, I just like you, and others are like, all right, enjoy your
Because you
enjoy
literally
your-
look like, it's so funny, but physically and on stage, you look like every rabbi that has a podcast. All these behind the bima, every rabbi,
It's so
during
true.
COVID, every rabbi began to have his own podcast,
Oh,
either the
wow.
Parsha of the week.
I'm the
or
cool
whatever.
Rebbe.
Yeah,
I'm the
he's a
cool
cool guy. He
yeah.
really gets
I
it.
play
He really
basketball.
gets it. He really gets it. He's the funny guy. He's a funny rabbi. He gets it. He gets it. But that's
when I released it, I was a little worried about like how it was gonna be received because I did the work. I mean, I really did the work on like how does this come off like enough like mocking goys without like really shitting on them. When I did my first like I would call it Jewish bit. It was probably 3 years into comedy, and I was not that far removed from living in Israel. And it was about the Palestinian-Israeli conflict.
Yeah.
And I didn't have the skill, and I had too much anger in me still.
right.
So it would come out of like, the Jews want this, and the Arabs, the Palestinians, they're fucking animals. That's all they are is fucking animals. And they want to, and it was like, this is not going well.
Right.
And then it took 20 more years of development to be able to like do this and figure out how to not be angry in certain moments, how to be like worshipful about these things and pleasant. So I heard from my sister was like, hey, they're all worried. They heard this is coming out, a comedy special called Jew from someone who's not religious anymore. And they're all pretty fucking worried. She didn't say it like that. But,
Really?
And she goes, and then it came out, and they were all like, oh, this is very respectful. This is very nice.
That's good.
Pleasant.
It was
It's
done-
mocking, but it's mocking in a fun way. And I would do that when I'd see women wearing the shaitels.
Yep.
You know, in my show, it's the same thing as when you have a black person in your audience and you're doing a racial joke. You kind of keep your eye on them, like, because if they're laughing, then I know it's fine.
It's funny.
And if I see one of those women wearing a wig and I'm like doing it, and I'm not like doing it at her, I'm doing it this way. I remember the old stand, like I saw them there, and then I'm like this, and they're dying because they're like, someone's speaking to my experience.
Yeah.
Right.
They're not like these dumb fucking bitches.
Yeah.
They're doing it in a friendly way. They're making fun.
Right.
But fun.
Yes.
And then I'm like, oh, cool, I got you. This is, and I would do that over
good
5
feeling.
years of building this to
Yep.
make it respectful and also informative. And so then when it came out, I was so glad. They're like, oh no, we're all cool. You're great.
Because it's smart. It's smart. It's smart. But I can't explain to you how funny. So I'll tell you a story. One time I went to go see Jim Norton's taping.
Okay.
And the guy that was producing it was a guy that used to work in a Passover program. That's how I knew
What,
him.
choosing who God passes over for the
No,
coming
he used
of
to work in the program for the whole hilarious. He
leave this one alone. He's good.
Anyway, so he invited the woman who ran the program. Now she only hires clean Jewish comedians. It's either me, Elon Gold,
Norton's.
so all of that. But she came to see Jim Norton's.
Yeah.
And I'm sitting next to her, and he's talking about all the stuff and trans and this and that. And she, at the end, I'm like just looking at her. I go, "How was it?" She goes, "He's so smart. It's so clever." It wasn't
Yeah, when
just
you're clever,
F
you
and
can get
S
away.
and
Right,
this,
right.
and I did that, and I was in
That's
there,
great.
and I was
She could
out of
see it.
She saw that this is clever. So when they watch your special, this is a clever man presenting this information in a this information that we all know, but like in a way that's smart, and that's why the special is, I think, a success. Do you think it's a success so
Yeah,
far?
for sure.
6.2 million,
6.2 million, but also
Canara?
just the fact that if it got 1 million, if it got 100,000, it's still like the point of like doing something is to make it.
Yes.
Yeah. And
You know,
did it.
Kind of
Emily
like-
Dickinson, no one read her poem, so she was dead.
Yeah.
But each one of those was a success. She was finished
Yeah.
a great poem, and it was
Yeah.
like nailed it.
That's a good
Kind
way
of
of putting
ironic
it.
that it's 6 million, but
Yeah.
Oh wow. Well, on that note,
Yeah.
where can everyone
You see the
find?
comments on the comments on it are like, this is probably like 100,000. I don't know if I believe these views. Yeah. It's that, or hey man, thanks for the great weather today.
Oh
I
wow.
love that.
6 million views.
That's so funny.
We got to wrap.
We're gonna wrap it up. Where could they see you and be in your life?
AriShafir.com for my tour dates, but it's all over the Midwest, and then like Boston in February, big shows at the Wilbur, and Chicago, and I don't know where else.
The Chosen Comedy Festival.
The Chosen
August
Comedy
8th.
Festival, August 8th in Coney Island.
Yeah,
There you
get your
go.
tickets for that.
Yeah, I'm excited about that one. That'll
It's
be
fun. You're gonna have a blast.
Yeah?
You're gonna have a blast.
Who's in the audience? Jews.
Everything.
Everything.
Yeah. all
Everything you've
flavors.
imagined in your life. Everything from Reform to Orthodox, 18 to 80.
Frontier Jews.
Frontier Jews.
I'm gonna have fun.
Old school Jews. Everything is there. It's so much fun.
Dude, at the store, when you would get 25 people in the audience, and then like 8 of one thing would come in, black guys from like the hood, or a bunch of Jews would come in, you'd be like, oh, I can do some jokes I can't ever do.
Right.
And then the other non-Jews like, what are you talking about? It's like, hey, that's Nakia, don't touch her. And they'd be like, what? And then you'd explain, you'd have fun with it.
Yeah.
This is gonna be
Non-Jews
fun.
lo-
A specific
non-Jews
audience is
love
so
Jewish
fun.
material because it's like a window into the world. Like oh my God, that's what they do. Yeah.
Oh,
wow.
yeah. Me and Steve Renazisi used to go into the Black Night at the Comedy Store, Fat Tuesday.
Yeah.
And we'd watch, so we couldn't understand what they were saying. It was so fast, and I'm like, what the fuck? But they'd crush so hard.
Crush.
We would just
And
go
you're
in the
in
back
there.
and be like, DJ, run that back. And we're like, run what back? I don't even know what the song is. And everyone would be hooting and hollering. It's fun to watch.
I did Comic View's 10th anniversary. This is
Whoa.
so many years ago. And they had 60 black comedians, me and Jason Anders. You know who he is? He's a Jewish kid that does only black rooms.
Wow.
Me and him were the only ones that were white on the show.
Modi is a black name.
It could be.
One
It
word
could
title.
It could be. And
Yeah,
I didn't
that's
know
a
what they were
black
talking.
comic's
I had
name.
no idea what they were talking about. They had a whole world within the ghetto or wherever they were talking about. I had no idea what they were, but they were crushing.
Right, yeah.
And you're in that energy. And that's Mashiach energy. ModiLive.com for all my dates. There's shows in Brussels, Frankfurt, Amsterdam,
nice.
Paris, Israel, all over Israel. It's on ModiLive.com. The Chosen Comedy Festival, August 8th. It's going to be with Ari Shafir.
Elon's going to be there?
Elon Gold and I hosting it. Jeff Ross is coming. There's a surprise guest that no one knows about. Jessica Kirsten's
Obama.
coming.
Sorry. Bleep that out. I don't want to ruin the surprise.
Triumph the Insult Dog. It's going to be amazing. Periel Aschenbrand at.
No, still not.
I still can't get
83 episodes.
Yeah,
in.
83.
Go ahead. No, what's the
At Periel Aschenbrand, you can find me.
Periel Aschenbrand. And again, thank you to A&H Provisions and Whites in Luxembourg. And be the friend who brings the friends to the comedy show. That's Mashiach Energy. Thank you, Ari, so much for coming.
Thanks for
Thank
being.
you.
Thanks for
Thank
having
you.
me, dude. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah.